Welcome back to the next in my part in my series on viewer submitted tones for our Line 6 Helix. This week I had a submission from a really nice gentleman, I believe he was from the UK, named Mick Hurst. He sent me in a patch that he just basically, he was kind of happy with it. I think he based it off of some of the videos I've been making. I noticed he used that crossover split thing that I talked about in one video. And this patch was based off of the newest amp, one of the newest amps, Cali, Texas Channel 2, the Lone Star, the Meso Lone Star. And he said overall he's pretty happy with it, but he was just kind of looking for what he described as a strong, clean, kind of non-muddy tone. And so he wanted me to take a look at it and see what I could come up with for him. So I did just that. It was a simple patch, much like what I'm used to putting together. It's like he used my template here. And I took a quick listen to it, and let me just play you what this sounds like. This is on the neck pickup here. Or a bridge pickup. Okay, nice patch altogether, but again, what was happening here is I noticed maybe just a touch too much in the low mids, maybe a little bit muddy sound. It could go with a little bit more clarity. So some of the changes I made, this is going to be a very simple one. One thing Mick said, he put a noise gate after. He said he was getting some noise through his system. I kind of just ended up taking that out in my patch here, the edit version, just because I just didn't really feel it needed it, actually. Now again, Mick could put that back in if there's something really causing him a problem, but from his description, I remember thinking that I don't think that it was necessary. So I took that out for now, and again, Mick got this patch back and he was really happy with it, and he loved the sound of it, so that was really cool. And he didn't really mention much about whether that was needed to be put back in, but anyways. So starting with the amp, let's take a look at the settings. I'm looking quick here at my notes. The only thing that I changed is I boosted his channel volume up just to get a little more output. And his presence was at 6.4, and I brought that back to 5.7. That was kind of to compensate for a couple other changes I made that you're going to see now. As far as the crossover split technique that I've talked about a bunch of times before, Mick kept his setting at 650 hertz, which was fine. He had all the frequencies above that boosted by 4 on his patch, and I jumped that up 1 more dB, boosting them by 5. And he had all the frequencies below 650 turned down 4 dB, and I turned them down even further to 5.5, just to kind of get rid of some of those low mids, right? The delay I didn't touch, the verb I didn't touch. The parametric EQ, he had just a low and a high cut, the low cut of 100 hertz and a high cut of 12 kilohertz. I changed his low cut to 100 hertz, sorry, that stayed the same at 100 hertz, but I changed his high cut to 10 kilohertz. Brought that back a bit to get rid of any of the really upper end harshness, but then I did something with the parametric EQ is I boosted 3.5 kilohertz up by 4 dB with a Q of 1. I went in like I oftentimes do at 400 hertz with a Q of 1.5 and pulled that back 1.7 dB. And then at 180 hertz, I gave him, at a Q of 1.7, I gave him a boost of 1 dB. So that kind of gave the desired effect to what my ears were telling me it needed. So that on the neck pickup sound like this. Let's compare that to what Mick started with. Here was his patch. If you notice, there's nothing wrong with it. The underlying tonal quality is nice. Just has a little bit of that muddy veil over top of it. When I put my little thing on it, now again, somebody might say, well, that's a little bit too crisp, and again, we could just come back up here, pull this back a dB, the sort of the upper frequency. Really depends on your own monitoring system and whatnot too, right? So those little tweaks can make go a long way, We had a little compressor on the end. I didn't touch that. So really all I did is really no tonal changes on the amp. I balanced his gain blocks here on the split crossover technique, and I added a little bit of EQ just to open up the sound and give him a little more clarity, a little more of a clear sound. And he was very happy with it in the end. So another easy one, really nice patches. This one was easy to work on because it was kind of, as I can see, based off of one of my templates that I've put up and talked about in some other videos. So Mick was real happy with that. I was happy. Really super nice fella to deal with, and as everybody has been. I keep saying this, but it's just been such an honor, and that people are giving me the opportunity to help them out, and I hope I'm helping them out, and I'm hoping I'm helping anybody watching the video to be able to tune their patches in a little bit better. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate all the support. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video, share them. Leave me your comments. I love chatting about this stuff and talking about different ideas. There's so many great ideas out there, and I really do appreciate the conversation and the support, guys. So I'll have more of these coming. So thanks so much for tuning in again, and we will see you next time. Ciao.